So you've selected Bodie Lighthouse to draw. Fantastic. So get your ruler, get your pencil, and have a white sheet of paper. It can be copy paper or it can be construction paper, either one, it doesn't matter. Now, if you don't have that, pause, go get it, and I'll see you back here in just a few minutes. All right, now that you have all of your stuff, I want you to take a look at your ruler. If your ruler has a long line towards the edge, that's where you want to start your measurements from. Don't start from the edge of your ruler, start from this long line right here. Also, there's a semi-long line in between the numbers. That is the halfway point. So if I go 2.5, I'm gonna go past 2, 2.5, 3. So we're gonna use 0.5 or halfway on these measurements. If you have any questions, just let me know and we'll talk about it. Join me on your Zoom links on Tuesdays and Fridays. So on the top of my paper, I'm gonna mark over 3.5 inches. Now I'm making sure that on my ruler I have that little extra space at the end, so I'm not going by the edge of the ruler, but I'm going by that line. I'm gonna go over 3.5. And it's important to have some really good measurements. I'm gonna turn my ruler upside down, and from the edge of the paper, I'm gonna measure over again 3.5 inches. So now I have 2 marks at the top of my paper. I'm gonna go to the bottom of my paper now and measure over 2.5 inches this time. And I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna turn my ruler over, and from the edge of my paper, I'm gonna mark over 2.5 inches again. Now I have 2 marks at the bottom of my paper. This time I'm gonna connect the lines together. Now if you wanna have a good straight line, you wanna make sure that you form the letter C, or if you're left-handed, you'll have a backwards letter C. And you're gonna put you put your fingers on one side of the 6 and put your thumb on the other side of 6, and you're gonna press straight down. And then your 2 fingers are just gonna push down on the paper, okay? Once you get your ruler set up, everything's pushing straight down. 2 fingers on the ruler, 2 fingers on the paper. Now when I draw, I'm not gonna push hard up against the ruler. I'm just gonna keep my pencil up against the ruler, but I'm not gonna push against the ruler. I'm just gonna draw a line straight down so it's nice and straight. There's one, and I'm gonna do the other side as well. Connect these 2 lines. My C, 2 fingers down, put my pencil against the ruler and draw down. Now I have kind of a shape of a lighthouse, but we don't need it to be this tall. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna measure down from the top of my paper down to 8. So I'm gonna mark where 8 is on here. And then I'm going to mark 8 over here. And I'm going to make a line on there. Now you can move your paper to help you if you want to draw your line and hold your ruler at the same time. But once you have that line drawn, that's going to be the bottom of this right here will be the bottom of our lighthouse. Here's what you need to do. Now the bottom of your ruler, is going to go up against that line that you just drew, that horizontal line. And then I'm going to draw another line. It doesn't have to go from edge to edge. I just want to go through the lighthouse, the shape of the lighthouse right here. And after I draw that line, I'm going to put the bottom of my ruler over against that line, and I'm going to draw it again. And then I'm going to put the bottom against that line and draw it again. And I'm going to do that all the way to the top of my lighthouse. You notice that my line is going all the way through the lighthouse. It won't matter if we color inside or outside the lighthouse. All right, now I'll do one more line right here, right at the very top. Pretty cool. Now, we have stripes on here. So what we need to do is we need to take the black crayon, or you can use black color pencil. Don't use paint because it'll warp the paper, and it'll be kind of hard to do what you need to do after we get done drawing this. But I'm just going to take my black. Now I want to be really careful about my lines that are inside my lighthouse shape right here, okay? Now, I don't care if it goes outside, because we're going to cut that off anyway. So there's one. So I'm going to color one stripe black. I'm going to skip a stripe and color another stripe black. Try to make sure that I stay inside those lines. And just keep going all the way to the very top. Being really careful not to cross over the lines that you just drew through your lighthouse. And one more. All right. So now you have the coloring of Bodie. I hope you color a little bit better than I did. But I'm trying to do this really quick, so I'm not wasting your time. Once you get to this point right here, stop and then go to the next section on cutting out your lighthouse. All right, I'll see you there.